January 28th, 2025, 12:49 p.m. A routine training exercise at Elan Air Force Base in Alaska. But what happens next is far from routine. An F-35 Lightning II, worth a staggering $82 million, crashes, with its wreckage engulfed in flames, inside the base's perimeter. The pilot ejects in time, but the aircraft is lost. A terrifying reminder of the ongoing safety concerns surrounding this cutting-edge fighter jet. But this isn't just another crash. It's part of a growing pattern. Just months earlier, in 2024, a similar F-35 crash rocked New Mexico. The pilot was severely injured, and in 2023, a Marine F-35 went down in South Carolina after a mid-flight malfunction. Even more bizarre, the jet kept flying for 11 minutes, completely unmanned, before finally crashing into a field. 3 crashes in less than a year, and now Alaska adds another chapter to this unsettling story. But what's behind it? Could the F-35's advanced technology be too much of a risk? Cold weather is a recurring villain. In Alaska, where temperatures often dip below -30 degrees Fahrenheit, the jet faces a serious challenge. Back in 2018, the F-35 struggled with freezing temperatures that overwhelmed battery heaters, triggering false alarms. Could this year's crash be a result of that same cold snap? But it's not just the weather. The F-35's technology is groundbreaking, and at times groundbreaking in the worst way. Imagine being inside the cockpit, surrounded by advanced digital displays and systems, all controlled by software. While this technology offers unmatched capabilities, it's also vulnerable to glitches. In the South Carolina crash, the pilot's helmet display malfunctioned, leaving him disoriented in the middle of a storm. He ejected, believing the aircraft was uncontrollable, yet investigators later revealed the jet was still flyable. So what went wrong in Alaska? Was it a sensor failure, a mechanical issue, or was the jet's sophisticated tech simply too much to handle for the pilot? We may not know until the investigation concludes, but one thing is clear. The F-35 is pushing the limits of what both humans and machines can manage. Speaking of limits, let's break down the F-35's different variants, each designed for a specific purpose. First up, the F-35A, the conventional takeoff and landing version for the Air Force. It's the only model with an internal 25mm cannon, capable of replacing older jets like the F-16 and A-10. Next, the F-35B, built for short takeoff and vertical landing. This one's a game changer for the Marine Corps, able to operate from shorter runways and amphibious assault ships. And then we have the F-35C, the Navy's pride, with longer wings and reinforced landing gear for carrier operations. Impressive on paper, but with all this tech, how reliable is it when things go wrong? Let's talk about the F-35B's lift fan system. This Rolls-Royce-designed fan is at the heart of the vertical takeoff and landing feature, delivering 29,000 shaft horsepower. That's immense power, but it's not without its challenges. And when things fail, pilots need to rely on the precision of their systems to stay in control. And let's not forget about fuel. With 7 to 10 tanks strategically positioned across the aircraft, the F-35 is a marvel of design, delivering optimal fuel distribution in the heat of battle. But when technology falters, even the most advanced systems can become liabilities. All of this is wrapped in stealth. The F-35's radar-absorbing materials make it nearly invisible to enemy radar. This stealth capability, combined with its advanced helmet-mounted display, gives pilots real-time data on targets, letting them lock onto enemies with a simple glance. It's a $4 million helmet that's as futuristic as the aircraft itself. Impressive, right? But when these high-tech systems falter, the stakes couldn't be higher. So, what's going wrong with the F-35? Is it the cold? The complexity of its systems? Or something deeper? Something we haven't yet discovered? As these crashes continue to pile up, one thing's for certain. The F-35's legacy is still being written, and the next chapter could change everything. Stay tuned. The truth behind these crashes is just beginning to unfold.